basic guideline here is any barbell exercise that's safe. You probably don't do this with good mornings, don't do this with snatches, power cleans, but any like curls, bench presses, things like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to do as many reps as possible, starting with a weight. You can do 6 to 12 reps. Once you reach momentary muscular failure, you stop, and then you reduce the weight on the bar by 10 to 30% as quickly as possible. Then you continue on the set and do as many reps as possible with 10 to 30% less than you started with. Go to momentary muscular failure and reduce the weight again by 10 to 30%. And those 3 mini sets are 1 drop sets. If you're training alone, you are not out on drop sets. And then this can be done at the most crowded commercial gym and anywhere you're training. So what you're gonna do here is you start with a weight. You can do 6 to 12 reps on a selectorized machine, and it's a much easier machine. So you go to momentary muscular failure, drop the pin by 10 to 30%, continue on the exact same guidelines as the barbell jump set. So you do 3 total sets, reducing each one by 10 to 30%. And this is just a good starting point. So you could do this you could do bigger drops, smaller drops, whatever, more or less. I'm saying this is a good starting point. So what we're doing here is we're basically teaching you the idea behind it. Then you can take it and do what works for you right there. So what you do here is you're basically going to do, we're going to do 2 movements. You're going to do one that's an isolation movement prior to doing a compound movement for that same muscle group. So you could do leg extensions, you could do squats, you could do, like we showed, lateral raises, overhead presses, dumbbell flies, bench press. That's how you do it. That's the idea. A small movement that targets the muscle group, superset it with a compound movement that does it. So what you do there is you start off with the small movement. Again, you go 6 to 12 reps, go to momentary muscular failure, go to the compound movement. You go in for a weight you can do 6 to 12 reps with, and this may require a little adjusting because you will be fatigued from the small movement to a point. So then the next way, then after that, so we go lateral raises, Craig hit failure. We go to overhead presses on the hammer strength machine, he hit failure. Then he goes back to the lateral raise machine, reduces that by about 25%, does the same thing back and forth. So by the end of it, we're reducing each superset by 25%, and he does 3 of those total. He goes lateral raise, press, lateral raise, press, lateral raise, press. Larry Scott was one of the old school guys that used to run the rack. So what you do here is you could go up the rack or down the rack. In this case, we want to lift as much weight as possible and really hammer those fast twitch fibers initially. So we showed on hammer curls, Craig started out at 60 pounds, then progressively worked his way down the rack. So how much you're going to do is going to depend on if you did a bunch of sets prior, you're only doing 1 set. So you might want to go just 1 set. You start at 60 pounds. Reduced by 10 pounds each set all the way down the rack, or even 5 if you're gonna go crazy. Next, we're gonna talk about the 6-20 method. So all you're gonna do is you're doing the same exercise. You do a set for 6 reps, and then you follow it with a set you're gonna reduce it to something immediately you can do for 20 reps. So this is a lot of the stuff like a holistic approach. Dr. Fred Hadfield talked about his scientific approach to bodybuilding many years ago. Charles Poliquin's also talked about the same type of techniques. So, we could say, a who's who of muscle building Bible supports this, but trust me, it works. Total repetition drop sets. So we've talked many times about the total repetition method. So the past we've talked about things like a pull-up. Say you're doing a 50 total reps. You go to failure, rest, and keep going until you hit your 50 reps. So now we got a kicker here. We're gonna go for a targeted number of reps, say anywhere from like 50 to 100 reps, depending on the movement. And what you're gonna do is take the initial set to failure. Okay, once you hit failure, you reduce the weight by about 25%. Okay, and then you keep going until you hit that target. So if you're going 50 reps on a bicep curl, you start off with 100 pounds, you go to 100 pounds of failure, you reduce the weight to 75 next set, then you would reduce it to like 55 the following set, so on and so forth, and you keep doing that till you hit your target number of reps. Mechanical advantage drop sets. And all you're doing here is you're improving your mechanical advantage on a given set or a given exercise. So for instance, in the case of Craig here, we demonstrated with the incline press. So we went to a very steep incline press, to a moderate incline press, to a very low incline press. You could even go steep incline, medium incline to flat. Doesn't matter. You can go low incline, flat to decline. So what you're doing, instead of lowering the weight, you're extending the set by improving your mechanical advantage And if you've never tried this way, see a lot of people have done more traditional drop sets. This is a great one you got to try then. This was be a totally shocking stimulus if you've never tried this before. Okay, rest, pause, drop. So what this is you pick a weight on an exercise, do as many reps as you can. Say you're doing 6 to 12 reps. Do as many reps as you can, like a typical rest, pause, rest 20 seconds, do the same weight again, rest 20 seconds. So basically you're starting off with 3 mini sets, 20-second break between each mini set, like a traditional rest, pause. However, here's where the kicker comes. After those 3 sets, you reduce the weight by 1/3 and do 3 more. So you go as many with 1/3 less, as many reps as you can, reduce by 20, rest 20 seconds, again, rest 20 seconds again. So you're doing 3 mini sets, 20-second breaks with 1/3 less than you started. You're doing a total of 6 mini sets for 1 rest, pause, drop. Post-partial fatigue drop set. Okay, so what we're doing here, similar to the, this is very similar to the mechanical advantage drop set where you're not actually drop the weight you're using. So what you do in this case is, like, say you're doing a lateral raise, okay? So you do a full range of motion lateral raise, okay? But then you hit failure. You continue with partials, okay? What we did is a hammer strength incline, so that he's had some shoulder issues. That actually hits his shoulders really well and doesn't cause pain. So what he did there is he went full range of motion, hit momentary muscular failure. But as he hit failure, he continues with partial reps, okay? Now here's the kicker. You better have a very good mind-muscle connection to make this work. Think about it. Intentionality. Focus, 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 focus. Put your cell phone away. Think about those pecs you're trying to contract when you go, and you are going to have an ass-kicking physique. Thank you.